Putting a label on your circular gauges that highlights proper running conditions for your equipment is a quick and easy way to see at a glance if things are operating normally. In this video, we'll show you how to create this label on your BBP37 printer. First, you want to gather some data about the gauge you'll be labeling. Measure the diameter of the area you want the round label to cover so that the numbers on the gauge would not be covered. Record the start and end range of the values on the gauge dial. Measure the angle in degrees of the numeric range on your gauge, for example, 270 degrees. And of course, note the start and stop of your target in range zone and caution zone. Now, to make the label, either from your home screen or by using the More Label Types button, select the Circle Gauge app and create a new file. Type in the gauge range start and end values. These can be in whatever measurement your gauge is in. Next, select the operation range angle. For this example, we'll set it for 270 degrees. We have some common angles predefined, but if your gauge doesn't follow one of these, select Custom and enter in your angle. Press the Next button and describe how large you want the label to be by entering the label diameter that you measured ahead of time. Again, you want the label to be small enough so that the numbers on the gauge dial can still be read. Next, you'll define the different zones. The in-range zone is the green slice of the circle. This is the zone you want your needle to be operating in. The yellow caution zone is an optional area that appears in addition to the green in-range slice. It indicates to an operator that conditions aren't quite where they should be. If you choose a caution zone, it can appear before or after the in-range zone, or both. The remaining areas of the label will be the out-of-range zone, which indicates non-normal or non-safe conditions. Operators often choose to color this area red. In our example, we'll set an in-range zone from 30 to 55 and a caution zone after the in-range zone up to 65. Press Finish once you've established your zones and your circle gauge label will appear in the main editor. You can choose to print here, but to see other label options, push the More Options button. You'll notice that you can print a black outline around your label, select the colors for the different zones, and you can cut out the label and the center hole. You can even adjust the size of the center hole for easier label assignment on your gauge. Please note that 4-inch supplies must be used whenever you need to cut shapes from your label. Finally, here's a helpful tip when it comes time to apply your label to the gauge. We recommend using transfer tape to apply your cutout circle gauge label. It is much easier to handle the label and position it accurately on the face of the gauge.